Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Easy Talk English. I'm Linda. Wherever you're listening from today, I hope you're feeling comfortable and relaxed.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alex. Thanks for joining us again. Take a deep breath, slow down a little, and enjoy this moment with us.
You know, when I think about January, the first word that comes to my mind is quiet. Not empty, not boring, just quiet.
I feel the same. January has a very different energy compared to December. December is busy, loud, and full of plans.
Yes, December feels like go, go, go. Parties, messages, shopping, food, travel, everything happens at the same time.
And then suddenly, January arrives. The noise goes down, the calendar feels more open, the days feel slower.
Exactly. January doesn't rush you. It doesn't shout. It gently says, it's okay. You can start slowly.
That's such a good way to put it. January is not loud, it's gentle.
For many people, January feels calm, a little sleepy, but also hopeful at the same time.
Yes, you might still feel tired from the holidays, but there's this quiet feeling of a new beginning.
Not the kind of beginning that says, change everything right now, but the kind that says, take one small step.
And that feeling is very real. If you feel slow, relaxed, or even a little lazy in January, that's completely normal.
That's why January is such a great topic for learning English, because it's full of real emotions we all understand.
In this episode, we won't talk about big grammar rules or difficult words.
We'll talk about real life, how January feels, how we experience this month in our own way.
You'll learn how to talk about calm days, mixed emotions, and new beginnings using simple, natural English.
English you can use when chatting with friends, coworkers, or classmates.
English that sounds like you, not like a textbook.
So think about your January right now. Is it quiet? Is it slow? Is it hopeful?
Whatever you're feeling, it belongs here.
Let's explore January together, one gentle conversation at a time.
Welcome to Easy Talk English. Let's talk about January with real-life English and real feelings.
Alex, when we talk about January, I really feel this month is less about plans and more about emotions. It's not just a date on the calendar, it's a feeling that slowly enters our daily life.
I completely agree. January feels very emotional in a quiet way. There's no big noise, no big excitement, but many small feelings inside us at the same time.
For me, the strongest feeling in January is calm. The days feel softer. There are fewer messages, fewer invitations, and more quiet moments to breathe and think.
Yes, calm is a perfect word, but at the same time, I also feel tired. Even though the holidays are over, my body still remembers late nights and busy days.
That's so true. January can feel calm on the outside, but inside, we're still catching up, resting, adjusting, and slowly finding our rhythm again.
And then there's this feeling of being hopeful, not excited like fireworks, but hopeful in a gentle way, like thinking, maybe this year can be a little better.
I love that kind of hope. It's quiet, but it's strong. You don't need to shout your goals. You just feel that something new is possible.
But let's be honest, January also brings a bit of laziness. Waking up feels harder and staying on the sofa feels much easier.
Yes, lazy mornings are very January. And that doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It just means your body and mind are still waking up.
That's why I really like this idea. January doesn't ask for perfection. It doesn't say, be your best version now.
Exactly. January just says, start where you are. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to feel motivated every day.
Some people feel stressed in January because they see goals everywhere, new habits, new plans, new pressure.
But stress doesn't have to be part of January. Feeling slow is normal. Feeling unsure is normal too.
And feeling confused is okay. You don't need to know everything about your year in the first week of January.
Now, let's talk about simple words you can use to describe your January feelings in English.
If you feel calm, you can say, I feel calm in January. Calm means peaceful, quiet, and not busy inside.
If you feel tired, you can say, I feel tired after the holidays. Tired just means your body needs more rest.
If you feel hopeful, you can say, I feel hopeful about this year. Hopeful means you feel positive about the future.
You can also say, I feel relaxed in January. Relaxed means comfortable and not stressed.
And if you feel stressed sometimes, that's okay too. You can say, I feel a little stressed, but I'm slowing down.
The most important thing is to be honest about your feelings.
Because real English starts with real emotions.
January teaches us that learning, living, and growing can be gentle.
One feeling, one sentence, one calm step at a time.
Alex, after the holidays, January really feels like the moment when real life slowly comes back. The first thing I notice is my alarm clock.
Yes, the alarm clock is definitely the symbol of January. During the holidays, we wake up whenever we want. In January, the alarm says it's time to get back.
Back to work, back to school, back to emails, meetings, and homework. It can feel a little shocking at first.
Very true. My body is still in holiday mode, but my schedule suddenly looks very serious again.
That's a great way to say it. Holiday mode versus work mode. Holiday mode is slow, relaxed, and flexible.
And work mode is more structured. You have to follow a schedule, finish tasks, and think about deadlines.
Schedule is a very useful word here. A schedule is your plan for the day or week, including work, study, and free time.
Yes, in January, many people create new schedules, new work hours, new study times, and new routines.
Routine is another important word. A routine is something you do regularly, like your morning routine or work routine.
In January, people often test their routines. They try waking up earlier, studying at a new time, or changing how they work.
That's why I like to think of January as a test month. You don't have to be perfect, you're just trying things out.
Exactly. If a routine works, you keep it. If it doesn't, you adjust it. No pressure.
At work or school, January also brings new tasks and projects. A task is a small piece of work you need to finish. A project is bigger and usually takes more time. For example, at work, you might say, I have a new project in January, or I need to finish this task today.
These are very common sentences you can use in real conversations.
January is also when people start planning again. Planning meetings, planning study time, planning their week.
Plan is a simple but powerful word. You can say, I plan my week every Sunday, or I plan to study more this year.
But it's important to remember that January doesn't need to be strict or stressful.
Yes, work and study come back, but they don't have to take over your life.
You can still move slowly, learn your schedule, and find a rhythm that feels comfortable.
January gives us space to rebuild our daily life step by step.
And talking about work and study in English doesn't need to be complicated.
Simple words, real examples, and honest feelings are enough.
That's real-life English, and that's exactly what January is about. Alex, when January starts, I notice many people begin talking about goals right away. But honestly, when I hear big goals in January, I sometimes feel a little nervous. It can sound exciting, but it can also feel heavy.
I feel the same way. The word goal often makes people think they need to change everything at once. New routine, new body, new life. That kind of pressure can make people feel stressed instead of motivated.
That's why I really believe small plans are much better than big plans, especially at the beginning of the year. Small plans feel realistic, they don't scare you, and they're easier to keep.
Exactly. When a plan feels possible, you're more likely to actually do it. Big plans often stay in our heads, but small plans become part of daily life.
For example, instead of planning my whole year in January, I prefer to plan just 1 week at a time. A week feels friendly. A year feels very far away.
Weekly planning really helps me too. When I look at just 7 days, I feel calmer. I can see what I need to do, what I can rest from, and where I have some space.
This also connects to habits. A habit is something you do again and again, often without thinking too much, and habits don't need to be big to be meaningful.
Yes, small habits are often the best ones. For example, drinking more water every day sounds simple, but it really changes how your body feels.
Another good habit is walking. You don't need a long walk or special shoes. Even 10 minutes outside can help clear your mind.
Reading is also a great habit to start in January. You don't need to finish a book. Just reading a few pages every day is already a success.
When it comes to goals, I think it's important to keep them gentle. A goal doesn't have to be something big or impressive.
That's true. A goal can be very simple, like wanting to feel more balanced, more calm, or more organized in daily life.
For example, you can say, "My goal for January is to build a simple routine." That sounds kind and realistic.
Or you can say, my goal is to take better care of myself this month. That's a very human goal.
January is a flexible beginning. You are allowed to change your plan if something doesn't work.
Yes, nothing is fixed yet. January is about trying, learning, and adjusting.
That's why we say step by step. You move slowly, one habit at a time, without rushing yourself.
And that kind of beginning feels much kinder and more sustainable.
Alex, something I really love about January is that it feels completely different depending on where you are in the world. It's the same month, the same calendar, but the experience can be totally opposite.
That's so true. January really shows us how different weather and culture can be. When people say January, they don't all imagine the same thing.
In many countries, January is winter. The weather is cold, sometimes very cold. People wake up to gray skies, short days, and chilly air.
Yes, winter January often means snow, thick coats, scarves, gloves, and warm shoes. People spend more time indoors because it's too cold outside.
And hot drinks become very important. Coffee, tea, hot chocolate. Holding a warm cup feels comforting on a cold January morning.
I love that feeling. Snow outside, warm light inside, and everyone moving a little slower. Winter January feels quiet and cozy.
But at the same time, in other parts of the world, January looks completely different. It's summer.
Exactly. In places like Australia, South Africa, or parts of South America, January means sunshine, heat, and long, bright days.
People wear light clothes, sandals, and sunglasses. Instead of hot drinks, they enjoy cold water, juice, or ice cream.
And instead of staying indoors, people go outside. Beaches, parks, swimming, and outdoor activities become part of daily life.
I think that's so fascinating. One person talks about snow and cold, while another talks about sunshine and warm weather. Both are talking about January.
That's why weather is such a great topic for small talk. It's easy, friendly, and everyone can talk about it.
Yes, you can say simple things like, "The weather is cold in January where I live," or "January is warm and sunny in my country."
You can also say, it's snowing today, or we have a lot of sunshine this month. These are very natural sentences.
Talking about the weather is often the first step to a longer conversation, especially when meeting new people.
And it also helps you share a little about your culture and daily life without pressure.
Weather affects how we dress, how we move, and even how we feel in January.
Cold weather can make people want to slow down and stay inside. Warm weather can make people feel active and social.
But no matter where you are, January still feels like a beginning.
Same month, different weather, different habits, but the same feeling of starting fresh.
And that's what makes January such a beautiful topic to talk about in English.
Because your January story is unique, and your weather is part of that story.
Alex, after talking about weather and culture, I think January also makes many people think about something very practical: money. After the holidays, money often feels a little tight.
That's very true. December is usually a month of spending. Gifts, food, travel, and parties can empty your wallet faster than you expect.
And then January arrives, and suddenly you look at your bank account and think, okay, maybe it's time to slow down.
Exactly. That's why January is often the month when people talk about saving money and making a budget.
Saving money doesn't mean you can't enjoy life, it just means you become more aware of your spending.
A budget is simply a plan for your money. You decide how much you can spend and how much you want to save.
I like to think of January as a gentle reset for money. No big rules, just more attention.
That gentle approach also works well for our bodies. After the holidays, our sleep habits are often a little messy.
Yes, staying up late, watching movies, eating snacks, it's fun, but our bodies feel it later.
In January, many people try to fix their sleep, going to bed a little earlier, waking up at the same time every day.
I like the idea of changing sleep habits slowly. Even 15 minutes earlier can make a difference.
Food is another big topic in January, especially sugar.
So much sugar in December. Cookies, cake, chocolate. It's delicious, but our bodies need a break.
January doesn't need strict diets. It's more about balance. More water, more vegetables, and less sugar.
That's what gentle self-care looks like. Not extreme, not strict, just kind and realistic.
Self-care in January can also mean resting when you're tired and saying no when you need space.
Yes, self-care is not about pushing yourself harder. It's about listening to your body and mind.
January is often misunderstood as a month for punishment. Less food, more work, more rules.
But it doesn't have to be that way. January can be a soft reset.
A time to check in with yourself and ask, what do I need right now?
Maybe you need more rest. Maybe you need better balance. Maybe you just need to slow down.
And that's okay. January is not about being perfect,
It's about taking care of yourself in small, gentle ways.
because a gentle reset lasts longer than a strict one.
Before we finish today's episode, let's take a calm moment to review some important words we used. Reviewing vocabulary helps you feel more confident and remember English better.
Yes, and all these words are very common in real life. You can use them when talking about January, daily life, or even small talk with friends.
Let's start with January. January is the first month of the year. You can say, January feels calm for me, or I like January because it's a fresh start.
The next word is beginning. Beginning means the start of something. For example, January is the beginning of a new year, or every beginning can feel slow.
Another very useful word is routine. Routine means the things you do every day or every week. You can say, my morning routine is simple, or I'm building a new routine in January.
Next is hopeful. Hopeful means feeling positive about the future. For example, I feel hopeful in January, or I'm hopeful about this year.
We also talked about save money. Save money means not spending too much and keeping money for later. You can say, I try to save money in January, or saving money helps me feel more relaxed.
Another important phrase is slow down. Slow down means not rushing and taking things gently. For example, January is a good time to slow down.
And finally, weather. Weather is how it feels outside, cold, warm, rainy, or sunny. You can say, the weather is cold in January, or January weather is warm where I live.
Now, let's do a small practice together. You don't need to speak out loud, just think or whisper your answer.
You can try sentences like, in January, I feel calm but a little tired, or my routine in January is simple.
Or, I want to slow down this January. Or, I'm hopeful about the beginning of this year.
And now it's time for our questions for you.
First question, how do you feel in January? Calm? Tired? Hopeful? A little lazy?
Second question, what do you usually do in January? Do you rest more, plan your week, save money, or start small habits?
We'd love to read your answers, so feel free to write them in the comments.
If this episode felt familiar or comforting, you can gently support us by liking this video and subscribing to EasyTalk English. We're here to help you learn English from real life, real feelings, and real conversations. Remember, you don't need to rush January.
And slow English is still real English.
Thanks for listening and take good care of yourself this January.
See you in the next episode. Bye for now.